Saxon Algebra 2, Lesson 103. You guys, we are killing this. We are crushing this book. I mentioned this before. Oh, hi, Gracie. She's come to join me. We have the rest of this week and all of next week to do regular lessons, and then we move into our review and midterm phase. We'll review on a Monday. We'll take the midterm on a Wednesday. I'm planning at this point to mail you your midterm, and then you can mail it back to me just like we did with the review problems. So never fear, you guys, we will have our midterm right on schedule. I know that brings you great peace and joy, no doubt in my mind. But we're staying on schedule as planned. Topic for today is a gem. It's fun just to say. Advanced polynomial division. All right, we have done this before. It's kind of weird, but it'll make you feel smart. Let me show you how it's written in the book. John tells us to divide x cubed plus y cubed by x plus y. Okay, it takes a little bit of brain power to just put this in the right format. Divide this thing by this thing. That means we want it in a division box. Like this, right? The thing that we're dividing goes in here. The thing that we're dividing by goes out. Spoilers, I want you to spread apart the x cubed and the y cubed because we're going to add some things in there. But let's just start and I'll show you how this will work. But if I'll tell you more. We'll just leave a gap like that for now. So the question we ask ourselves is, what do we have to multiply by x to get x to the third? And that would be x squared. I wish you were here to answer that for me. We only look, remember, we only compare this number, well, this value and this value. They're not numbers. But we compare these two and say, what do we need to multiply this guy by to get that? It's x squared. That is, remember, we have the 4 steps of all long division. We estimate. Second thing we do is multiply. Okay, so that's what we do now. When we estimate, we only look at these two, but when we multiply, we have to multiply everything. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times y, we put the plus in there because it's a plus y, or it's a plus whatever this term is, it's x squared y. Okay? Third step, subtract. You may remember that we have to be very careful when we do the subtraction because we put parentheses around that and now we're subtracting both of these, and that changes this sign. I change it and then I circle it to show that that's the new sign that I want there, because it's super confusing if you don't circle it because you don't remember if you changed it or not. Now we subtract x cubed minus x cubed equals 0, so I'm not going to write anything there. And then we look at this and go, wait a minute, we don't have anything to subtract this x squared y from. That's why I left the gap. What we're going to do is we're going to add here a 0 x squared y. What? Yes, we can do that. We're naming this term, but we're just saying that there are 0 of them in this original expression. That gives us something to subtract from, and we find that we get 0 x squared y. Okay? Whew. So now, for the fourth step of, these are the steps of division that you learned back in what, 3rd or 4th grade. They still apply. Okay, so our long division rules still apply, and now we're ready to repeat them, but we're not going to bring down just yet. We're not exactly sure what we want to bring down. We know we can create any term by sticking a 0 in front of it, so let's just wait on the bringing down to see what we need. So now we go back to saying, okay, here's, we see what do we have to multiply this by? in order to get this term? Well, it would be minus, and then we need one more x, and we need a y, don't we? All right, cool. Now that's our estimate. Now we multiply minus xy times this would be minus x squared y, and it would be minus xy squared, right? We have two y's and one x. All right, we subtract. That was the multiplying. It's going to change to a plus, so that's the changed version. This also changes to a plus if we want to look at it that way. Those cancel out, yay. I'm going to do that here and here just to show that those cancel. Now that we're in the middle of subtracting, we can bring down from the previous step because we can see, oh, the next term we need is a 0xy squared, right? Now those letters match. We set it to 0 up in this original expression so it doesn't change that. But now we've got something to, in this case, we're going to add from it. So when we add these, we'll have 1, and I'm not going to write it, xy squared. Okay? Again, this time we can bring it down. Let's not bring it down. Let's wait and see what happens. So we kind of wait on the bringing down to see what we create when we do that second multiplication. Okay, so we're back at the beginning. We're going to estimate. What do we multiply by x to get xy squared? We need a positive y squared. This multiplies together to give us the xy squared we want. This multiplies by this to give us the x cubed. Aha! That is going to work. So, I won't bring it down. I'll wait for just a minute. We subtract. This all goes away. This changes to a negative. I circle it. Now I bring this down. I don't have to create a term this time. That's a positive y cubed. This is a negative y cubed after I changed it. Notice my circle. So that cancels out, and here is our final answer. X squared minus xy plus y squared is our answer. That's correct. And if we wanted to, we're not going to do it, but let me just show you. If we wanted to check our answer, we could take x squared minus xy plus y squared, and we could multiply it times x plus y. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. It'll be fun. There's only one other problem in this lesson, so don't worry. I'm not going to keep you here all day. Let's do the dance with this. Notice this is our quotient. This is our, I believe this is called the divisor, and this one's the dividend. Let's do the multiplication and see if we get this back again. It should be this row without the 0 terms in there. All right, x squared times x cubed, minus x squared y plus xy squared. I just multiplied x by each of those terms. And now we'll do the y, and I'm going to be careful to line these terms up underneath these whenever possible. This will be positive x squared y. This will be negative xy squared, and this will be plus y cubed. And look what happens. X cubed, that cancels, and there is our original dividend. Make sense? This is the same as this. So we proved that we did it correctly. Yay! Okay, let's do one more, which is basically the same problem, just a few sign differences. It says divide x cubed minus y cubed by x minus y. Okay? So all that's different in this is that we have two negative signs instead of two plus signs. Let's just try it. Okay, this is what goes inside the box, x cubed, and we spread them out. I'm not even going to worry about trying to figure out what goes in between. I'm not even thinking about that right now. That will become apparent as we work. So we just start with the basic question. What do we have to multiply times this first term in the binomial in order to get this? Okay? X times x squared will give us x cubed. Remember, we're multiplying. And now, so that's the estimate. Now we multiply. X cubed minus x squared y. We're subtracting that. This is the trickiest part. This is where most of the mistakes are made. That will change this. That will change that. We go to subtract. That's gone, and we need plus a 0 x squared y. We're adding it, so we have x squared y right there. Okay. So far, so good. Now we have to figure out what do we have to multiply by x to get x squared y. That would be a positive x y. Okay, there's our estimate. We multiply. We get the x squared y all right. And minus x y squared. Okay. This goes around here. There's the minus sign. It changes that to a plus. We're going to need a term that matches to that one. You see the pattern. It goes x cubed, x squared y, xy squared, and then y cubed. It'll always fit that pattern. You don't have to memorize that. It'll just come out. Once you do your multiplication, you'll see the kind of term you need, and you just add those letters with a 0 in front of them to create the addition or subtraction that you need. Okay. So now what are we doing? We're adding this and this, so we get positive xy squared. We estimate again. What do we multiply by x to get xy squared? That would be a positive y squared. This is indeed xy squared, and then this becomes minus y cubed, right? The y times the y squared. We subtract. That changes this to a plus. That goes away, and then we can bring this down. Finally, we caught back up with our problem. It's a minus y cubed, and this is a plus y cubed, so those cancel out, and this is our answer. X squared plus xy plus y squared. Yay, it's the right answer. And again, you could check it by multiplying this times this. You should get this, but we're not going to bother. All right, that is lesson 103. Let me, because it's a little weird. It says use long division to divide, and then it gives you this. Right? Well, that's a little weird. We didn't have numbers in front of it before. Very strange. But we don't have to worry about that. Let's just let them come along. We're going to say 2x plus 4y divided by, that's not the right words, but I'm doing it the right way, 8x cubed, and I'm going to put 64 y to the third down here, because I have a pretty good feeling we're going to need some fill-in terms. And so we do the same thing. What do we have to multiply by 2x in order to get 8x cubed? Let's see, we need a 4, and then we need an x squared. Okay? So having the numbers in front doesn't change the process. It just makes it look a little different. 2x times 4x squared gives us this. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I multiply, and I get 8x cubed, just the way I wanted, and then here I'm going to get 16x squared y. I subtract all of this, that cancels. I'm going to add a 0 x squared y up there. Now see, I forgot, I didn't change this yet. I'm subtracting, it started as a plus, so that means I want this actually to be a minus. So then I get minus 16x squared y. Okay, now I'm back to the beginning. I'm not going to worry about bringing down yet. I estimate, what do I have to multiply by 2x to get that? Ooh, let's see, I need a minus 8, and I need one more x and a y. Looking to make sure I like the way that looks. And so on we go. So we added a number into the process, but the numbers are small and easy. Just do the same thing with the numbers that you are with the letters, okay? If you have any problems, let me know. That is the end of lesson 103. I hope you enjoyed it, and you know what? I hope you feel really smart, because those are difficult problems.